Calling the Norfolk School Committee meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. We'll start by reading our mission statement. The Norfolk Public Schools offers a safe, joyful, and challenging learning environment that meets the needs of our diverse students. Through school, family, and community partnerships, we provide an education that inspires lifelong learners and cultivates caring and productive citizens of our ever-changing world. Ever, roll call, please.
Peter Schwalbe.
Grace Lockett.
Medora Champagne. Lisa Sheldon. Next on the agenda is public comment. We have none. Correspondence, we've also received none. Moving to the school committee chair report, I just want to say, just first, thank you very much for moving the meeting back. Got to go to the third grade open house. It's great to see. Everyone's very happy and excited in there, so thank you, I appreciate that. Starting with our first item was a recognition of a retiree, Roxanne Bordeaux, and I'm just going to read a statement in her honor right now. After 32 years of dedicated service to the Norfolk Public Schools, Mrs. Roxanne Bordeaux retired from her position as the Director of Human Resources. Roxanne began her career in education as a preschool teacher at the Norfolk Co-op. In 1994, she transitioned to a position as an executive assistant in the school administrative offices, supporting the superintendent and business offices. Her passion for learning, ability to listen, and strong communication skills propelled her forward into the position she occupied recently. Roxanne is known for her incredible compassion, empathy, and willingness to go the extra mile to help staff members and provide support and sound guidance in matters relating to HR. She is a team player who always was there to lend a helping hand. Roxanne's intelligence, wit, and genuine humor lit up the office and created a welcoming environment for all around her. She will be dearly missed by her colleagues, staff members, and administrators. We wish Roxanne the best as she moves on to enjoy more time with her precious grandchildren, playing her flute, and enjoying sunsets at the beach. Thank you to Roxanne.
I just want to say, it was a privilege working with Roxanne. She was completely dedicated. The Norfolk schools were a big part of her life, and I think she really went above and beyond to support staff no matter what time it was, on the weekends, late nights, and I just didn't want to be remiss in making sure we recognize her service, even though she's unable to be with us tonight. So I will pass on her gifts from the school committee to her at a separate time. But thank you.
Moving on, we have a gift to approve. We have a gift in the amount of $1,000 from the Norfolk PTO, and it is for books for the second grade at HOD. Looking for a motion to approve the gift as stated.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Just a thank you.
Those were books to support adding to classroom libraries. We added 2 classrooms over the summer, so we have 2 new second grades. So thank you to the PTO.
Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. The next item is to vote on an MASC delegate. So the MASC holds a conference in November. It goes from November 12th to November 14th. People who can go for one day, can go for all of the days. The delegate meeting is on the last day, the 14th, and they all get together and they vote on resolutions that they would like to see Mass push forward. Dora, I know you've been to the conference before. I think we all want to, if you want to.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to go. MASC certainly issues a lot of guidance to school committees across the Commonwealth. It's interesting, it has been interesting to me in the past when I've attended to hear some different perspectives from different types of school systems. So you might get regional school systems, VOCTEC school systems. It's been interesting to chat with other folks who have kind of regional elementary systems about how they manage that. And during the vote, I mean, MASC is pretty transparent. They have a list of proposed resolutions and action items that is percolating throughout each of their operating years. And it is incumbent on the delegates from the school committees who attend to actually vote, to give feedback to MASC about whether or not they feel those are the right priorities and kind of issues to move forward with. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's a fun time to meet some new people. the Cape in November is lovely. So, yeah, I unfortunately am not available in November this year, so.
So it would be great if someone could go to all 3 days, but you don't have to go to all 3 days, you can only go to 1 day, you can go the second day. The voting does take place on Friday, the final day of the conference. So does anyone have any interest or availability to attend?
I cannot have availability, unfortunately.
You guys do either, that's when we're gone from my daughter's.
I have a rollout of work that week, we talked about it last night at KP, so I checked the dates.
All right, add it to my list, so someone will make a motion.
I move to nominate Lisa Sheldon to be the MASC delegate for the 2025 MASC conference.
Any further discussion?
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Wish they did it on the weekend, or.
I'll be down the street in Falmouth at work. On the street. Down the Cape. So that's my Cape is over.
So we will hope that there is no negotiating fees time that week.
Well,
Yeah, we could lock it down, because I don't know how much that would cost.
All right, moving to the next item, the Friends of the Norfolk Public Library are going to be hosting their annual book and bake sale, and they would like to request the use of the Freeman Kennedy School. They use the library or the gym for their big book sale beginning Tuesday, April 21st, 2026 through Saturday, April 25th, 2026, which coincides with April vacation. We have waived the fee for them in the past. We have a great working relationship with the library. So looking for a motion to waive their fee request as requested.
so moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, going back to the prior agenda item, we needed to vote in an alternate delegate because no one is available. It's me, and if something comes up.
Yeah.
What happens if we don't delegate?
You just aren't represented in the vote.
You know, I mean, why did they, if it's something that's, if you have to vote on a decision, why do they do it on a business day? Hold a conference on a business week when most people are gainfully employed.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, that's your organization, I think you can certainly reach out and give feedback,
It's our organization.
But they try to tie it with
Yeah.
with the conference at the end of the conference. And
Yeah.
Lisa, you can put me down as the alternate. There's, I think one of those days, I could make it, I can make all three
Okay,
as the alternate.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We probably need to vote that again.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So there's an
Okay.
alternate to represent you.
All right,
Yeah, if we need one, then,
okay, so we just need a motion for Lauren to be the alternate delegate.
Amending my prior motion to add Lauren Beavis as the alternate in the event Lisa Sheldon is unable to attend.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
To your point, Peter, I know that has been a topic of discussion in the past. I think it's much like town meeting locally for us. There's always a lot of dialogue around why it's on a weeknight versus a weekend versus I think that it may well have something to do with the availability of the conference facilities. And, speculating as someone who has orchestrated meetings like that in the past, it may have something to do with that.
They used to end on a Saturday too, and a lot of people with childcare left. So I don't know if that was,
It's tough.
All right, moving on to the superintendent evaluation. So there's 2 documents in the exhibit. The first 4 pages is my attempt at a summary, and the next 12 pages is the document in full. The first 4 pages is the highlight. The last 12 pages includes every comment submitted. So I'm going to read the summary and then any further discussion. Once we add to it, we can do that. And then we just need a motion to approve the evaluation. So the school committee completed its annual evaluation with Dr. Ilardi. How that works is each member submits individual scores and comments using a DESI form. I consolidated all of them, and the scores reflect the majority, and all the comments have been included in the full report. This year's overall rating was proficient, indicating successful performance in meeting the rigorous standards of the role. It's important to note that proficient represents a high bar. Dr. Alardi was rated exemplary, the highest possible score across several individual measures, reflecting performance that should serve as a model regionally or statewide. These measures include management and operations, human resources, law, ethics and policy, fiscal systems, interpersonal, written and verbal communication skills, and a commitment to high standards of service, teaching, and learning with high expectations for achievement. So some general comments from school committee members include, Dr. Alardi has without question been an asset to the Norfolk Public Schools during the evaluation period through consistent communication and interaction with her administrative team, building principals and special education team, and parent leaders. Dr. Alardi has maintained an open dialogue with stakeholders and promoted a culture of transparency and collaboration. I appreciate all the hard work Dr. Alardi does to help the Norfolk Public Schools be the best it can be. Dr. Alardi's dedication and passion for education come through in every interaction. Through an incredibly challenging year for many reasons, Dr. Alardi was able to maintain her high performance and ensure the smooth operation of the district. Norfolk is lucky to have Dr. Alardi as the leader of our school district, and I feel lucky to be able to work with her as a member of the school committee. Norfolk schools are fortunate to have Dr. Alardi at the helm, guiding us with unwavering dedication and expertise. Her deep knowledge and commitment shine through in every initiative she leads. Dr. Alardi had another successful year, effectively implementing our new ELA program and adopting and securing funding for our new math program. She also successfully navigated another difficult budget cycle, safeguarding teaching positions and finding cost savings. So then we had to rate Dr. Alardi's progress towards her goals. She made significant progress towards many of her goals, including work towards improving ELA performance with the rollout of the new curriculum, conducting a review of our technology program to establish guidelines for AI and screen time, and making headway in establishing a consistent behavior tracking system. She met her goal around reviewing the district's emergency response plans and procedures, making sure they are up to date with best practices, and she exceeded expectations on her goal of completing the building expansion feasibility study and developing a communication plan to keep the public informed. She was an integral member of the building committee, held countless community forums, ran extensive Q&A sessions, built out a building project website, and worked hard to keep the public engaged and informed. So then, DESE asked the school committees to evaluate superintendents around 4 standards. Dr. Alardi scored proficient across instructional leadership, family and community engagement, professional culture, and she scored exemplary in management and operations. And I included some notable comments around instructional leadership. Dr. Alardi's passion and expertise in education shines through the district as she sets high standards and strives to achieve them. I look forward to witnessing the progress made following the ELA and next year's math curriculum rollout. Dr. Alardi has played an instrumental role in fostering collaboration, promoting professional development, and driving the district school forward. Her proficiency in managing administrative meetings, guiding team members, and solving challenges in both a strategic and hands-on manner has been a key asset to the district. I hope as new curriculum is developed and implemented that the district continues and improves on making that information more accessible to families. Around management and operations, Dr. Alardi's commitment to creatively using space in our already cramped buildings although unfortunately unnecessary, is impressive. I continue to be impressed at her consistent focus on trying to find cost savings for the district in order to manage the budget, restructuring multiple positions in an effort to make the most out of district funding while maintaining high operational standards. Dr. Alardi has exhibited exemplary management and operational oversight skills during the evaluation period. She has consistently staffed the district in an educationally sound and fiscally responsible manner. Frequent collaboration with the NTA and Parent Leaders Group has continued to ensure a positive educational environment that runs efficiently while meeting the needs of Norfolk's student population. She is well versed in state and federal laws and regulations that impact the district and communicates these parameters clearly and effectively. Dr. Alardi is a skilled fiscal leader for the district and successfully navigates difficult budget cycles. She always strives to protect the teaching positions and looks for creative cost-saving initiatives. Looking ahead, I would hope to see continued collaboration with the town of Norfolk, as well as Rentham, Plainville, and KP to explore cost-saving initiatives and/or position and resource sharing. This would be an opportunity to engage further with the budget subcommittee and the committee as a whole. Managing our budgets and being a responsible steward of our budget is truly one of Dr. Alardi's strengths. Moving to family and community engagement. Dr. Alardi's proactive approach to keeping families informed and engaged in the district's activities has contributed to building trust and transparency. By consistently responding to inquiries, developing effective communication tools, and seeking community input, Dr. Alardi has helped strengthen the relationship between the district and its stakeholders. Her willingness to meet with parents, caregivers, guardians, and members of the community at large to discuss concerns and identify for improved engagement and collaboration is well known. Dr. Alardi has always maintained consistent and timely communications with the district and school community. Communication is always challenging as everyone consumes information in different ways. However, Dr. Alardi leveraged multiple tools to ensure updates and other communications were as widely consumed as possible. Moving forward, I hope to see Dr. Alardi continue fostering dialogue and sharing information so that parents feel informed and confident in their children's education. Wednesday's Words is an excellent tool for sharing news with families. Building out a curriculum portal is promising, and I hope to see continued expanded communications that could provide specific guidance, such as clear benchmarks. For example, what level should a first grader be reading at? The distribution of Acadience reports to parents was a strong step in the right direction, and I hope this practice continues. She holds meetings with parent leaders. This is a fantastic avenue for increased engagement. It would be great for the community to receive communication about topics discussed and initiatives underway in these sessions. Overall, Dr. Alardi is an effective communicator, recognizing the challenge of engaging busy parents, and I encourage her to keep working to include a broad range of voices and perspectives. Finally, under professional culture, Dr. Alardi has demonstrated exceptional leadership in fostering collaboration, enhancing staff morale, and ensuring effective communication between the administrative team, the MTA, and staff members. Her commitment to building a positive school culture, addressing staff concerns, and responding to the district's needs has been commendable. Dr. Alardi consistently presents very professionally, which flows to the district. I was particularly impressed with the way she handled professionalism and appropriate confidentiality while managing through challenges at HOD. Aside from that, she worked to create a climate survey, met regularly with the MTA, and maintained the fun with the first Amazing Race to Norfolk. So that took us through the DESE evaluation form. And it's important to note that that reflects the standard form from DESE, but we as a committee would be remiss if we did not note that last year was not a standard year. So beyond her core responsibilities, this year Dr. Alardi undertook work well beyond the typical scope of a superintendent in managing the unexpected opening of the Bay State Shelter. She participated in weekly state calls, worked with DESE and local officials, advocated for grants, and ensured newcomer students were welcomed and supported. She secured funding for a family coordinator, translation services, instructional materials, and technology, while maintaining the focus on high education for all students. She also spearheaded working with the state for funding to renovate the special education offices at HOD into teaching spaces, providing an immediate benefit to newcomer students, as well as a long-term benefit for HOD. So I just wanted to highlight a couple more noteworthy comments from the school committee about Dr. Alardi's work in relation to the shelter. The unexpected challenges brought on by the opening of the shelter tested the district in ways we hadn't anticipated. Yet Dr. Alardi rose to the occasion as a true leader, dedicating countless hours to addressing these issues and finding viable solutions. Throughout this time, she balanced the concerns of teachers, parents, and the community members, ensuring that the education of all students remained her priority. Dr. Alardi consistently met with the state officials to discuss the unique needs arising within the district following the opening of the shelter. Of particular note, she worked to procure grant funds to support the hiring of a family coordinator to support registration and communication with newcomer families, as well as additional instructional materials, translation services, and technology equipment in order to strengthen the district's ability to provide and maintain strong programs and services for all students. Managing through the ebbs and flows from the shelter and the community's heightened emotions regarding the facility could have been a full-time job in itself. However, Dr. Alardi was able to make significant progress against her goals while managing newcomer students in a graceful and welcoming way. Dr. Alardi demonstrated terrific leadership and resilience during a challenging year. She skillfully balanced maintaining excellence in her schools and staying focused on education, while also warmly welcoming newcomers. Her dedication was evident as she participated in weekly state calls, engaged in countless conversations with DESE, advocated for critical grants, responded to parent concerns, and ensured all students were thriving. Despite the state's ever-changing plans, Dr. Alardi adapted with grace and skillfully steered the district through an uncertain time. This year, Dr. Alardi, in a sense, had to manage two budgets, our standard budget and additional costs from the shelter, along with tracking, submitting for, and collecting reimbursement from the state. We, as a committee, recognize Dr. Alardi's commitment to maintaining excellence in education while managing multiple obstacles this past evaluation session. We are so fortunate to have her leading the district, and we are looking forward to this year. And that was a summary. For, again, the full document, all the 12 pages with everyone's comments and ratings is attached in the exhibit. So I would just be looking for a motion to approve the evaluation, and then if there's any further discussion, we could do that.
I move to approve the evaluation dated September 4th, 2025.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I just would want to say, it was a really unusual year, but I just want to credit that this was a team effort. Managing the shelter, I appreciated the school committee's support in advocating for the resources that we needed in order to be able to meet the needs of students, which were extensive. But the teachers that welcomed new students into their classrooms, the changes that were consistent throughout the year from the state, they really went above and beyond, and it was not easy work. So I just want to recognize that there were a lot of people that worked hard together to make the year as successful as possible given circumstances that were outside of our control. So I just want to make sure that I acknowledge that. So there were many, many people, from the administrators to the classroom teachers to our mental health staff to the L teachers that we onboarded, some of the new paraprofessional staff. So I think it was really not a perfect year. We had to evolve and change plans as the plans that were given to us changed. But there were a lot of people that really went above and beyond. So just want to recognize that. So thank you.
And thank you to, everybody who's involved in that. And I think, as I mentioned to you, there was a lot behind the scenes that you went above and beyond in managing that. And, the year that was challenging was as successful as I think it could have turned out. So thank you.
On to me?
Hand it over to you.
All right, great. The first thing that we have is the opening of school highlights. So overall, it was a very smooth start to this year. We had our teachers return to school last week on Monday the 25th. And that day was really our opening day. Lisa came and shared some comments on behalf of the school committee to welcome teachers back. I think Lauren joined us for a little bit. And then we started the year with a team building educational trivia game. So our teachers were working in different teams. We had a series of questions. We had multiple choice questions, we had a picture round, and we had music trivia, which I think was, I would say was the hardest. Do you think the music trivia?
I think Austin rocked it.
So they had a music teacher in their group. The music trivia was tricky, but it was a really fun way for people to get to know. We have a lot of new staff that we onboarded this year, so it was a nice way to get to know people who might not be working in your building. Our winning team had lunch delivered to school last Friday. Our runners-up walked away with candy prizes. So it was a really nice morning. Teachers had the afternoon to work in their classrooms to set up for the contract and to get ready to welcome new students. And then on Tuesday, the 26th, we had a full day of professional development. The majority of the sessions were focused on supporting the rollout of the new Math Amplified curriculum. I think overall, it's hard to do two back-to-back new curriculum implementations, but overall, I think our teachers are excited about the new math program. I think you heard that when the committee came to present in April. It's a different way of teaching math, so the learning curve is definitely going to be big for all of us, but there's a lot of energy and excitement around it. So that was Tuesday. Our students from grades 1 to 6 arrived for the first day of school Wednesday, August 27th. We had additional staff members available at both buildings, so anybody who's not in a classroom position, all of our guidance counselors, our support staff, our paraprofessionals, our math, our art, music, wellness teachers, everybody comes out and it's all hands on deck to make sure that kids got in our classrooms so that nobody getting off the bus is nervous, they don't know where to go. Very quickly, kids were settled in and the school day started. Transportation buses ran on time. We didn't have any delays the first week. This week buses have been a little bit slower. KP started, and so we have a lot of bus drivers that drive a route right before us for KP. So as they learn those routes, they were a little bit delayed this week. We're watching that closely and expect to see those buses back on track within a couple of days. Our new kindergarten students started on Tuesday with their on Wednesday, and they came with their parents. We have a little bit of a different way that we start kindergarten. So the first day they come and they spend the time with their parents visiting their classrooms, getting a sense of what kindergarten's like. The next day on Thursday, the first half of the class came. We do that so that for the first day of kindergarten, we have a much smaller student to staff ratio, and we can really support kids as they get used to the new routines. The second half of the class, unusually this year, didn't start until after Labor Day, so there was a little bit of a gap just because of the way the calendar fell. And all of our kindergarten kids came back together for the full class on Wednesday. Let's see. Again, we're watching transportation, seems to be going fairly smoothly. Staffing update, we continue to work to fill a couple of open positions. All of our teaching positions are filled at this time. We have one remaining paraprofessional vacancy. It's a part-time vacancy that we are working to fill. You'll probably see that advertised in the Wednesday's words coming home from the 2 principals tomorrow and in the district newsletter next week. We also are still looking for food service assistants in both kitchens and some staff members for the before and after care programs for staff. Both school buildings also have full-time permanent building subs. Those subs cover if we have somebody out on maternity leave, sometimes it's long-term absences, sometimes it's day-to-day vacancies, sometimes it's covering for key meetings or other things. Often we have licensed certified teachers in those roles, and we end up hiring them for classroom positions. So that's what happened this year. So we have openings at both schools for building substitute positions. One actually left the district for another position. So we're still looking to hire those, but overall, very smooth opening. Open house tonight at FK for grades 3 and 4, 5 and 6 is next week, and then HLFA is later this month. I think it's the 25th. So we're looking forward to having parents come and have a chance to see the schools and meet their teachers. Any questions on opening school? I'm happy to do it. Okay, great. Next thing is the family handbook. So by policy and statute, school committees are responsible for reviewing and approving the family handbook annually. As we talked about this last year, we tried to make it a little easier on you. It's a lengthy book. So Adrian went through and in your packet highlighted anything that changed. We did a major overhaul of the family handbook last year. So there were very few changes this year. All of the policies were updated, everything was compliant. We had the coordinated program review audit from the state. So everything was in place. The major things that have changed in handbook this year that are highlighted for you. We didn't highlight, obviously we update the maps and the staff rosters every year. There is new language that aligns with one of our school committee policies about safety on the playgrounds and playing fields. And that is just reflected the same language within the policy that the school committee approved, was included in the handbook. That had not been in there previously. There is one other section under parents' rights. Let's see if I can get a page number for you. What is it? 58. At the top of 58. Over the summer, many of you may have heard, there was a Supreme Court decision in a case, Mahmoud versus Taylor. The results of that was litigation that was brought to the Supreme Court where the court decided that parents should have a legal opt-out right of curriculum if curriculum taught in the public schools violates or contradicts their sincerely held religious beliefs. So that court ruling was issued in July. However, there were not details or guidance given on implementation of the results of that hearing. So districts have been working on determining the best way to respond to that new requirement. In Massachusetts, the Mass Association for School Committees and the Massachusetts Association for School Superintendents had their legal counsel work collaboratively with attorneys' offices that represent schools across the Commonwealth. They got together and they put together recommended guidelines and recommendations for school districts as well as recommended language. They are recommending that all districts in the Commonwealth put language within their handbook that explains that right. The language that was proposed by the attorneys is included in our handbook for your review tonight. It is broad language that provides notice that, again, we're straddling two different sets of laws, Massachusetts laws for anti-discrimination. So it talks about the Norfolk Public Schools through its curriculum materials, encourages respect for human and civil rights of all individuals regardless of race, color, sex, gender identity, religion, national origin, or sexual orientation. And that's part of the Massachusetts regulations and laws. And then it says, in accordance with district guidelines, families may request information from the building principal on available accommodations related to curriculum content. That is the proposed and recommended language. KP voted, I think, last night. Grace, did you vote
Yes.
on that same language?
Yes, it passed last night.
Okay. And Rentham and Plainville, all of the districts I know in our region are moving forward with that recommended language.
Plainville also, they passed it as well.
Yeah, they did, you're right. And Rentham, I think it's next Tuesday. It is broad. It's broad intentionally because we don't have clear guidance, so we don't want to impose additional regulations that weren't imposed by the Supreme Court. So we are not governing how parents provide that notice. Some parents might choose to send a written letter to the principal, others might make a phone call, might make an appointment to come in. The intent of this is that parents have the right and would reach out and explain to the principal what their beliefs are and what they are choosing to opt out of. And that might be different based on people's individual religious practice. So we are not arbitrating or saying this material might be offensive to particular people or might be in contrast with different practices. That's up to the parent to notify the schools. We will, of course, comply with the requirement and provide an alternate opt-out provision for any child whose parent requests that. I would be putting this language because I don't know that all of our parents read the handbook word for word. It's lengthy, so we will also send this out in the first Wednesday's Words that's going out tomorrow. If the schools are sending their newsletters out, and it would include this language. I would also put a link to the Supreme Court case for people who want to read more about it. And let people know that if they are interested in accommodations, and accommodations could be broad. It might be opt-out, it might be they want to preview material with their child. It could be different based on different parents' requests. But we will put the information that parents can request information about accommodations or opt out of selected lessons if they contradict their sincerely held religious beliefs. That way it is directed to the principal. Teachers are not in the middle of that. Principal's responsibility would be to inform teachers if any students in their class are opting out of specific content. So that's, I think, the only other change to the handbook. I'm happy to answer questions or provide more information. If you want to talk about the handbook as a whole and make a motion and make a further discussion, probably you want to.
Put a motion on the table, then if anyone has any questions, we can just look into, for a motion to approve the handbook as presented.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussions on the handbook?
I think it's pretty generic. I'm sorry to interrupt. I am appreciative of the fact that it will kind of get teachers out of the middle of this. I mean, if they have enough on their plate,
Yeah.
So.
And I was just going to ask, you mentioned you have communication going out to the parents, that's through Wednesday's Words?
Yeah, so the way that we've worked out the communication, we used to send Wednesday's Words on a weekly basis. It was a lot of information, so what we've done is shift that the building principals send a building newsletter out the first Wednesday of the month. Second Wednesday of the month is PTO, and the third Wednesday of the month is the school district newsletter. So tomorrow, the building principals are sending their school newsletters. It will be included in that, and then we'll also go in the district newsletter that goes out the following week. So it'll go out twice through newsletter.
Okay, I think that's helpful.
Yeah. Sure.
Just to confirm, so I understand the language we're putting in, it's not replacing what we talked about last year with like sending curriculum home and making it available, but it's more in addition, right? Like
This
it's
is
in addition.
a general opt-out of particular content. The case was around LGBTQ plus content, specifically in the Supreme Court case. So this is more of a general. What we talked about last year was around the new health standards. We are still in the process of undergoing the health curriculum review, and we are looking to build out a web page that has information on all of our curricular programs. We don't teach sexual education in Norfolk at this age level. We do teach a unit in grade 5 on changing bodies, and there's a letter that goes out to parents to inform them of that, and let them know that they can come review any material, so it would not replace that. And we actually, the policy subcommittee, when we were talking about the new health standards, also talked about potentially providing an opt-out prior to this from certain aspects of the health curriculum. This will cover that, but parents can still have that information around the health curriculum.
So I think I am understand correctly. That
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
an add-on,
replacing.
it's not, it's
Yep.
just, okay. Alright. Any other questions on this? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next thing, I lost my place here. The next thing in your packet is this facilities report. This is something that we provide to the committee per policy annually. It is just basically summarizing what we've taken in for income to the facilities revolving account for renting. And our biggest rental income source is the FK gym. So we rent that to a lot of different groups. So it shows you what we've taken in for rental, which totaled last year $7,281.25. And out of that, we've had to pay out custodial overtime. So that was close to $2,000, with a net profit from facilities rental of $5,293.50. That goes into the facilities revolving account, and we use that because we don't have an extraordinary maintenance line. That would be for unexpected repairs, window breaks. We use it to fix a security camera, locks on the door, things that fit with that revolving account kind of scope, which would just be facilities and operations. Any questions? You'll notice we give you a 4-year report. 22 was the post-COVID. We weren't renting the building out at that time. We were just letting school partners, rec department and school programs use it. But we returned to full rental in 23.
Okay.
That's all I have tonight.
Moving on to the committee reports. Policy we have not done yet.
That's correct.
Budget.
I
Haven't
know
really started.
there was talk last year about the select board beginning the process in July. Like moving the whole process forward. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, no. So what they're doing is a little bit different. They are, I don't know if people have heard about the Citizens Academy that they're going to do. So what they're trying to do a sort of it's like a course for citizens that are interested in learning more about department budgets. So they started that early. Every department will have a night to present and tour the facilities and give an overview of their structure, their budget needs. I think people are applying to participate in the Citizens Academy, and I think they're accepting only up to 25 people. So what they're trying to do is proactively get more accurate information about the town and department needs for budget out to the community early. They have not given us an indication that our budget timeline for submitting budgets is going to move up. But I think they're trying to engage the community earlier and understand the financial and fiscal needs of the departments. And I just got an email about the night that I think it's December 4th. They've given the schools to present. So more information to come as I learn more about what I'm presenting for that. So,
And there was a select board meeting, I think, was it in July or in early August, that I went to, where there was discussion both around that and just the general timeframe for when you can feasibly start to look at allocations, because the town doesn't have their full revenue picture yet. So that it would be, I think every department is looking at their budget sort of holistically all year long. Certainly when we get updates on the budgets, this is one of the biggest budgets, but I think that absent cash coming in and what that picture is going to look like, there's
and a sense of the governor's budget too, which is usually,
Correct.
we usually get early parameters from the town in January is when they start to have a picture available.
right, which is why I think historically it has started more like in the November timeframe to actually look at what the reality is going to be. But That said, it didn't seem like it was gonna be a great year, so.
No, I don't think they definitely have already shared concerns about revenue. But I haven't heard anything further. The town is in transition, they've appointed an interim town manager, and they are just beginning the search for a permanent person. They had us come over and meet with a search consultant, and they're looking for a picture of what we're looking for as a town. And they're just starting that timeline. So I don't know if the budget process changes will happen until we have a new person that's permanently on board that's gonna see the budget process through. But I'll update you if I hear anything about the timeline being changed.
Building committee.
News to come. Yeah, news to come. MSBA is doing a walkthrough on the 11th, which is Thursday, I believe. So hopefully that goes well. Interestingly, I heard that when MSBA did a walkthrough of Plainville and the roof, it was a really hot day and one of the members fell through the roof. So, or not through, but like foot went in. So hopefully we don't have that kind of drama.
Well, they got it approved.
Well, I don't know.
Did they get a roof? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We were wondering that. Yeah, so hopefully, that'll be interesting, if not fruitful, so.
Yes, yeah, and we'll be sending some information out. So, as you know, we work to try to get a ballot initiative to move forward with the building expansion project. We definitely have critical space needs at each other day, as well as coming up at Freeman Kennedy. When that failed at the ballot, we moved forward as a district with writing a grant application to MSBA for the school building project. And this is the 5th year we've submitted that. We were declined 4 years in a row, but we are a finalist for the potential funding at this point. I spoke with MSBA the other day, and there are 14 districts that they are doing site visits for. They wouldn't tell us how many projects they will accept, but there are only 14 that are finalists. When MSBA funded the last project, it was at a reimbursement rate of 52%. So that takes the $40 million expansion project down to about $18 million. It's significant. So fingers crossed, the visit goes well, and we get invited to participate. If we do, it would still have to go back to town meeting for a vote and we would have to redo portions of the feasibility study. It would extend the timeline a little bit about when we would be able to break ground or to begin billing, but much more financially viable for the town if we have partner in funding. So stay tuned. We have to visit on Thursday.
So we met, King Philip School Committee met last night. Overall, similar to, as Ingrid shared, the opening went really smoothly. I think Rich shared that it was the smoothest opening that he has had since he has joined. So all good there. Highlights would be there's a real focus on getting some more rigor around the financials and the budget, given some of the hiccups in prior years, and so there's a lot of work going into cleaning that up, and a lot more will be running through the school committee for approvals just to make sure that there are eyes on things. So, really impressed with the work that's been done and that it's being done, and it seems like, honestly, an awful lot of work and cleanup. So, all good. And then the other thing I wanted to note is King Philip has also put in for MSBA funding, not for an expansion or a new building, but it's like a different pot of
Accelerated repair.
Yes, I was like, what is the acronym? I forgot my paper. But so we've put in for both roofs and at the roof of both buildings, and then also heat pumps at both buildings, which would increase energy efficiency. So Dr. Drolet is going to all of the select board meetings just to make sure that everybody knows. They are in we'll find out, I think, in October if we get any of them. We could get all, we could get none. I noted the roof projects are only, this is the first year they're actually even able to be put in. So, I don't know what that says, but there's potentially greater need out there. So we will see, but that would have to, if those would get funded, that would also move through the town. I don't know if it would be a vote or what, but I actually think.
Depends on how much the cost of the project is, and what they have an emergency deficiency, and how much they have to borrow.
I believe, but it's recorded, so feel free to fact check me. For the roof projects, there's enough to cover feasibility, but for the heat pumps, that there would not be. So, anyway, more to come. We'll see.
And I think, I had a meeting with Rich the other day, I think the roofs are both 20 years old.
Yes, exactly 20 years.
So when we first applied for the H. Olive Day roof, their threshold for applications, the roof has to be at least 20 years old. But when they accepted applications, they changed the parameters, so they only took roofs that were 25 years old or more. So they paid for a section of the H. Olive Day roof, and then there was the addition that they didn't qualify because it was under 25 years. So the roofs Rich is aware that might happen. It depends on how many people. They say 20 years, but if they get a lot of projects, they prioritize the oldest. So
yeah, and I think he said you can apply every 2 years. So we're applying now, and then if it doesn't work, we'll apply in 2 years.
Smart to get your foot in the door just in case there's funding. So
that's it from me.
Moving on to liaison school partner updates. My update from the CPAC, I did a call with both Mike and Kayla. Their first CPAC kickoff meeting is going to be Thursday here, starting at 7, right after the open house. So anyone at the open house who wants to come in, if you come in at 7:15, that is also fine. They're really looking for more volunteers to help them. The leadership of the CPAC's children are aging up. And so they're really looking for volunteers to volunteer in any sort of capacity. It doesn't have to be this large commitment at the younger grades. They do a lot of wonderful things throughout the year. Their next big event coming up is the trunk or treat at HOD on October 24th.
PTO has had a leadership change, and so I'm coordinating, getting a new update from their new leadership. So I have lots to report on in our next meeting, I'm sure.
Anyone else?
Well, if you were interested in riding on the haunted train ride and didn't click on tickets at 5:00 p.m. today,
Get your thing.
you might still be able to get something tonight or
Really?
tomorrow.
I don't know, I got mine at 5:30 and there was a lot open, so.
We used to have to physically line up at the library, and it got a little testy.
I was driving and remembered it had to pull over. I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss this.
They would shut the doors and then open the doors, and had to descend on the poor volunteers that were selling paper tickets.
I was stationed at the computer at 5 o'clock as per directions. And at 5, the 7 p.m., coveted 7 p.m. slot was already gone.
Oh, was that covered?
Even at 5,
Oh, I thought so.
the clock was out.
Never been happier to have 3 scaredy cats.
All right, then.
I just wanted to also update the committee. So at the last meeting, the Cub Scouts came and they talked about school partnership. I just wanted to let you know the H. Olive Day is doing their community resource fair the night of their open house. So I did connect the Cub Scouts with them, and they are going to have a table at that. So they were able to get what they were hoping. There's more information for the community through that.
That's great.
That's great.
All right, then you have the minutes from our August 19th meeting in your packet. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes as written. So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then the next school committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 14th. So good at everything, and not to be selfish, I can work around it, and that is my birthday, so. As much as I love you guys, I'm going to spend the evening.
Without us?
My kids might be disappointed to not do cake, but we can do whatever. If any other day works conveniently for people, we can switch it around, but if not, I will make it work.
And we potentially do the 21st that night, is that possible for people? If not, it's okay.
Yeah, we can do 21st.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's just a week later.
Yeah, I could do that, I think so.
I think so.
To the 21st, okay. I am looking for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Further discussion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.